When I was really young, I was this twig of eccentric Aquarius energy. My idea of a really good time was performing for my mom in our living room and watching her crack up. Now, I absolutely loved being ridiculous, and it lit me up. On the inside, my soul whispered, Nikkia, this is who you are. You're a free-spirited bird who belongs on stage. But on the outside, society said, you should find something else to do because this stage won't always take care of you. It's June 17th, 2021. As Twitter's head of research, I'm leading a brilliant team of researchers through humanity's most harrowing chapters. Now, the stakes, if you remember, couldn't be higher. Pandemic misinformation is spreading like wildfire. Racial justice movements are reigniting, and democracy hangs in the balance. Now, we're on the front lines. We're not just studying these crises as researchers, we're actively fighting them. I marvel, though, at all of the chaos in front of me and think, how do we make a change? We show how Trump's #Chinese virus rhetoric will leap from the darkest corners of the internet to cause actual real-world violence against Asian Americans. We are constantly tracking how the worst conspiracy theories are becoming things that people talk about at their dinner tables. And we're sounding alarms constantly to executives who nod, feign concern, and then choose to prioritize profits over people. We are incredibly passionate about this work and feeling energized. We know what is coming before it even happens, and yet nobody listens. But still we press forward. Now it's just after midday, and I'm sitting at my desk, which is in front of my bed, and I'm leading a virtual team building session. It's one of the very few moments that my team and I can just exhale, reconnect, and remind ourselves why all of this work really matters. I marvel at the beautiful array of faces and pronouns and lived experiences on my screen. Leading this job means so much to me. It feels like my life's work. I'm living my values out loud, striving to leave things and people better than I found them, creating an environment where everyone feels safe and supported, advocating for decisions that don't harm humanity or the bottom line, and doing all of this while showing up as myself by simply being myself. Now, we've just spent an hour or so decoding trust, of all things, and we're buzzing, feeling more like comrades on a mission than colleagues. But then comes the email. Important information about your role during this meeting. My heart immediately sinks and my mouth dries. Now, isn't it wild how the body shows what the mind and soul already knows? So I click into the call with my manager and HR. HR is carefully composed, and my manager's gaze is averted. My hand is pressing to my chest, a futile attempt to hold together the pieces of my cracking heart. It's about fit at Twitter, HR says. The way you navigate the organization. Have you ever been told that you're a light burnt too bright for the room that you're in? HR continues. You're a very visible leader. You're charismatic. People follow you. And you have a brand that is stronger than people who've been here for 10 years. Each word falls like a pebble into the still pond of my understanding. I am being exiled, not for failure, but for presence. For being a bird who flies so wild and free in a space not built for birds like me. I'm just holding my chest because it hurts, I whisper. It's a confession of vulnerability at a moment when everything is being stripped from me. My manager remains quite silent, apparently fascinated by something off camera. When HR suggests that my issues have been going on for quite some time, I ask, but why didn't anybody tell me anything about this? How come my manager didn't work with me on an action plan? Silence. The next day, I'm discussing communication strategy with HR, and they say, we'd say that you're spending time with family. I laugh. I love working so much, nobody's gonna believe that. How about pursuing new opportunities? That'd be a lie. Well, we'd prefer not to say that you've been let go. I'm uncomfortable with lying. The call ends with no resolution, and I'm left wondering how to tell that team that I love so much that I'm suddenly gone. A month later, I escaped to Antiparos, Greece, and under the Aegean sky in a whitewashed villa, I do what I've always done in moments of disruption. I turn inward. And with my journal in hand, I pour my soul onto paper. Why did this job matter so much for me? Who am I if not this job? And what does my soul call me toward? What flows is raw and searingly honest. I am not my job. I have never been my job. I am so much more. Now, as I write, my thoughts quiet, but my soul whispers grow louder. And eventually, they lead me back to little Nikkia, to tell her that I hear her, I see her, and I love her. Now, look around you. How many of us have to be broken open to find our way back to ourselves? The greatest adversity isn't losing a job, it is losing touch with who we truly are. So when life brings you to your knees, listen to the soul whispers guiding you home. So here I am, still quirky, still dramatic, just with better outfits, and a slightly more impressive LinkedIn profile. I said goodbye to corporate Nikkia last March so that carefree, exuberant bird Nikkia could lead the way. Soaring while giving keynotes, flying while hosting my podcast on the beauty of friendship, and nesting a space for beautiful misfits to break free of their cages. And so it turns out, being a free-spirited, exuberant bird wasn't foolish after all. It might just be the best career decision I've ever made. Thank you.